You may have thought that the Ford Raptor only comes one way. Well, here I have 4 different trucks for you to look at. And by the end of this video, hopefully you'll have an answer which Ford Raptor is best for you. Right here, I have a stock Raptor, brand new truck, 3rd generation 2022 model, with a couple of little touches that I'll show you in a second. Over here, yes, it does look like a stock Raptor, but it's not. It's a conversion truck by Paxpower. It's a hybrid powertrain truck, Platinum Edition. I'll show you that in a second as well. Over here, something truly special, a Supercharged V8 truck that's customized, but also basically looks like a Ford Raptor. And finally, a little bit more wild truck. It does look like a Ford Raptor, but it has a few more customized features and a really fancy suspension, and also a Supercharged V8. So let me show you each truck one by one and take them around Houston, Texas, and figure out which one is best for you. I want to thank my friends at Paxpower for getting all these trucks together for this video, because this is pretty special. And this truck right here is all stock, except with a couple of little details. Well, first detail is that, as you can see by the sticker, yes, it's going to the Middle East, and Paxpower is an approved modifier. So the only thing they've done really on this truck is actually fit it with a 37-inch tall tire, because technically these trucks, when they go to the overseas markets, especially the Middle East, that truck is only available as a 35-inch tall tire. So the customer wanted 37s, so Paxpower is helping them do that. And let me show you on the inside, because it's quite unique. So if you've seen a brand new Ford F-150 Raptor, this is pretty standard stuff. Of course, it has Ford seats, Ford center console, Ford steering wheel, nice and chunky with a red center marker. But yes, this truck is leaving Houston, Texas, is going overseas, so it's in a different language. So yeah, I cannot understand what it's saying. All I know is that, yes, it's going overseas, and I'm here to show you how it compares to the other trucks. So let's take it around and see how it drives. This stock Ford F-150 Raptor was born as a truck on 35-inch tall tires from the factory, and it has a few specific items that meant for the Middle Eastern market. Then it went to Houston, Texas, where Paxpower updated it to a 37-inch tall tire package. But it still has a lot of adjustability. It feels like a stock Raptor. Yeah, it does have that power still, twin turbocharged, high output engine, 510 pound-feet of torque, still 450 horsepower-ish. Of course, the emission laws are a little bit different country to country and region to region, but basically that's the same powertrain that you're getting. And you have adjustability for the exhaust sound, for the shocks, for the steering, for the throttle mapping, all of the off-road modes. So that's what the Raptor really is. Ford is trying to differentiate it from every other F-150. Of course, you have over-the-air updates, so changes to these trucks are difficult and getting more difficult to make, which is why I'm really curious about how and what Paxpower can do to the F-150 Raptor conversion trucks. So let me show you the next one, which is the F-150 PowerBoost Hybrid Raptor conversion. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because this is the first conversion truck by Paxpower. Take a look at this. The grille, the front clip, the hood, the fenders, even the side markers and the bumper all looks Raptor. Well, yes, it is Ford parts, Ford Raptor parts, but except for the headlight. The headlight's got a little bit more chrome, it's a little bit brighter, and it gets really interesting because it's also a luxurious truck with a hybrid powertrain underneath, F-150 hybrid, and it's got all the high-tech features, including Blue Cruise. So let's go over it. Take a look at the stock Ford Raptor bumper here. Yes, there are sensors, parking sensors up front, but there's nothing on the side here. However, on this conversion truck, which started life as an F-150 hybrid Platinum, there's an additional sensor here, and that's because it has additional technologies very similar to parallel park assist and perpendicular park assist. And then there is the interior. As you can see, it's all platinum Ford interior inside. So it's all up to you. If you want a more luxurious truck, you can have it. And if you don't like the way that the twin turbocharged Ford Raptor stock exhaust sounds, well, this is a whole different experience, because you can put this truck in eco mode and do actual silent electric driving. Of course, the Ford Raptor is all about the suspension. And in this case, on this F-150 Power Boost Hybrid, Paxpower also puts Fox suspension. In this case, yes, you are seeing the live valve shocks and actually a different spring up front. This is almost like a leveling kit, but it's done with a specific Eibach spring that Paxpower has specified for this truck. And the shocks only have one setting, which is full soft in this case. Let's accelerate. I'm quite used to this powertrain. I actually own one of my personal trucks, an F-150 hybrid, and I really like this powertrain because I can go on electricity sometimes, not very far, of course. I can get some good efficiency in certain conditions like city driving. And many of you have said, well, when you lift a hybrid and put big tires and wide suspension on it, it will never be in electric mode. Well, let me show you. Let me accelerate. Of course, you get full 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque when you accelerate. But then, when you slow down, take a look at the revs. So right now I'm driving around, let's say I'm in the city, not super fast, of course. There, the engine just came on. But it's really that kind of a serene, more luxurious, and just quiet experience. And yes, it may not be of course it will be less efficient than a standard hybrid, but you still have that ability. And you can still tow quite a bit and carry quite a bit of load in the back. And this truck is even more difficult to actually put together because of additional sensors and recalibration that has to happen for the adaptive cruise control system, the camera systems, even the Blue Cruise system, and the rest, and the sonar in the bumpers. And Paxpower has that ability there, can actually recalibrate using some of the dealership tools and get this truck dialed in to get all of that working. And of course you can have all of your cameras as well. Well, if you thought that was interesting, now it's going to be flipped on its head. This white truck right here is a supercharged V8 powered F-150. And yes, it does have that Raptor look with the front clip. Once again, Ford parts, Ford Raptor. But it's actually used to be, it started life as a Lariat 5-liter truck that's been now done this way with giant 37-inch tall tires, very special, unique wheels. And if this truck looks a little dirty, well, I have a full deep dive video just about this truck that you can also find at alltfl.com. But let me show you a couple more interesting parts on this. This just shows what's possible. You can make this truck your own. In this case, it has color-matched bumper, fender, still of course the Raptor marker lights. These wheels, yes, are quite unique. These are Volk racing wheels, very expensive, very strong. This tire is ginormous. It's a 37 by 13 and a half wide, massive. The shocks are basically second generation Ford Raptor suspension pieces. By the way, the difference between the third gen stock Raptor and some of the trucks you're seeing here, the stock Raptor has coils in the back, 5-link system, and these trucks are still running on leaves, just with different shock and spring packages. Down here you can see a leaf spring still, and that shock in the back. But of course, the real special part of this truck is 770 horsepower from that 5-liter and the amazing sound. Once again, like I said, this used to be a F-150 Lariat, so the interior matches to what this truck was before, but still you have a 12-inch infotainment screen, leather seats, premium stereo system. Once again, it doesn't have to be a premium truck also. If you want to build an XLT truck, make it simple, remove the sunroof, remove the fancy stereo, and focus on the engine and suspension, you can do that too. Well, folks, the new Raptor R factory truck is not here yet. It's coming for the 2023 model year, but you could still get something that's very similar, I would bet. Of course, we don't know a lot of specification on the upcoming Ford Raptor R factory truck, but I know everything about this one. Paxpower can do this for you. You could have a truck that accelerates fast, and what makes this truck even more unique is that it's kind of a mix and match of different components, but I think they are put together in a quite nice and cohesive way because you have slightly older tech on the shocks. But it's not always a bad thing. Yes, they're advancing their shock technologies and making them more precise and more adjustable. But actually, the old school suspension, especially from the first gen Raptor and the second gen Raptors, I think ride a little bit nicer on road, where most people spend most of their time is on the highway. So that's a nice thing, and that's what this truck does. It just rides beautifully, like right now, on a side road or a highway. Okay, so what if you do want that V8 supercharged power in your F-150, but you're not into the whole Raptor look? Well, you can customize it further and also change the suspension even further. So this is what this truck is about. Still 770 horsepower, but underneath, very special Fox suspension. Here in the front, displayed proudly, because it should be, the Fox Factory 3.0 suspension system. This is basically the top of the line aftermarket system by Fox. It's quite expensive. The shock system themselves, front and rear, is about $7,500. And look at these massive fins for cooling. So this truck belongs to a gentleman who wants to actually use it in the Baja and also kind of as a chase truck in California deserts. So this truck will see some nice desert running, and it's riding on these tires. In this case, this tire is a BF Goodrich KM3 on a 17-inch wheel, and it is a 37 by 12.5. This truck has a special hood with here ram air system that actually doesn't go to the engine, but at least it cools down the engine bay. But really good fitment. Unique grille. It no longer says Ford here, but still has the markers. And a very customized bumper, which with massive skid plates. I like that, and a light bar. I think it follows the line of the truck quite well. And then also very unique fenders. You could see, doesn't look anything like a stock Raptor fender front, and also unique fender in the rear, but still that width, that Baja kit suspension that gives it that width. This hood is actually quite heavy, so it comes with its unique struts and just pops open and reveals this, the of course Whipple Supercharged 5.0 liter engine, the Coyote, 770 horsepower, like I said. Yes, this engine bay is dirty because I already put this truck through its ringer. It's a separate video. Check it out at alltfl.com. Once again, this truck is also running on leafs in the back, but these are special Deaver springs built specifically for this application, for the weight of this truck and also the height to accommodate the 37. Once again, Fox Factory shocks with remote reservoir, and these are checked valves Basically, it makes sure that the shock fluid actually circulates and doesn't get stuck in one of these lines. Also, Icon bump stops right here in the back. Finally, let's go for a ride in this customized F-150 truck by Paxpower. Okay, so yes, it still has that supercharged V8. It's quite amazing. It still has that acceleration, and you can hear the supercharger whine, of course. But I think, and the reason why I think I'm gonna pick this truck as my favorite of these four, it's because it actually has that almost off-road racer feeling, where in a corner like this, it leans over a little bit more. It still has that width and stability. I'm not an off-road racer by any means, and I'm not a trophy truck driver, but I can imagine that this is a little bit closer to that because of how, leaning and a little bit softer that this truck feels, especially in corners. And this truck requires a lot of just concentration if you want to drive it fast. And if you want to drive it off-road, I have a special separate video about this truck featuring it. I drove it off-road in a Texas mud and water and sand, and I gotta tell you, it's a beast. It demands respect, it demands attention, and it's just fun. And I think it looks pretty cool as well from the outside. So let me know in the comments below which one of these trucks is your favorite. I have an idea. I really like that customized truck because it just has a unique look, still a ton of power, and it's really fun to drive. It's a beast. And if you're wondering about pricing, of course it varies. It can be quite simple. You can get an alpha package from Paxpower, or you could step up all the way to all Raptor suspension bits and bodywork. That's about $30,000, and of course the supercharger for the V8 costs about $15,000, and it's warranted for 36,000 miles. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and always check us out at alltfl.com for everything automotive. See ya.